Hey guys, my name's Andrew Pecoraro, and I'm here with members of The Last 10 Seconds of Life. We have...
John.
And what do you do, John?
I sing.
Sing, all right. And?
Wyatt, play guitar, sing a little bit, do some other stuff.
All right. So guys, you recently put out a new album, Machina Non Grata. It's your 5th one. How do you feel the reception overall has been so far? You guys
Good.
can take the mic too if you want. Pretty good?
I think it's been great. I've honestly been happy overall.
Everyone seems like they're vibing hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
people
one
seem
of-
like they've been loving it.
So far, it's one of my favorite ones, and you got all of them are always so different. You never know what you're gonna get with it, but it seems like
They
all
all
the
definitely have their own unique sound.
Yeah.
But it's just, the underlying is there. You know it's us.
right,
It's the unique.
and it includes 14 songs, which is kind of a lot for bands these days. How come
Sure.
you included so many?
Just wanted to be heavy. You know what I mean? Just wanted to give you a lot of heavy.
Yeah.
That's really it.
I had a lot in me to write.
Were there any that you had to cut out that you wish you could have put in?
Well, I have so many riffs. Like, some of those were riffs that I've had stored forever that
Okay.
I brought back. That I was like, you know what, I've always wanted to use that, so.
And what's your favorite song on it?
For me, probably say These Guns Are Made for Shooting is probably my favorite.
Yeah, I like that one.
What about you, John?
Probably like Dirt Nap Atrophy, Salvo.
Yeah, I
Return Me
like
to the ground.
the pistol cock and Dirt Nap Atrophy.
Yo,
is
that-
like such a throwback to the old school days. I loved it as soon
That
as I
woke
heard
me
it.
up out of a dream. I literally dreamt that, and it woke me up, and I was like, "Yo, yo!" while I was
We
driving.
were in a
Yeah.
van, yeah.
Yeah, and I
That
started
one-
yelling. They were
That
like,
one,
"What?"
and then I'm blanking on the second track.
Oh, Sweet Chin Music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one is such a throwback to like the old hype up songs of like I will
sure.
fight you and put you in
Yeah.
your place, and like nobody makes those songs anymore. But anyway, so I really enjoyed those ones.
Yeah, I loved writing that song.
And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have Soul Erased, Aphrodite, songs like that that actually have some clean singing in it.
Yep.
Where was the inspiration for that? Where did that come from?
I felt like it fit really well in that album. You know, like, Violent Sound was a lot more singing, but I felt like with this one, I strategically placed it a little more, and I think it goes with the flow of the whole album.
Yeah. And I'll ask a couple questions about the Violent Sound and some things and how it tied into the new album, but the other track that really stood out to me was the title track, the closing track, the longest track on the album,
Yeah.
Machina Non Grata. Really like the electronic effects that you put in, especially in the outro.
A lot of synth in there.
Yeah, that one just really stands out overall.
Pretty much throughout the whole thing, it's in there. Well, except for the clean section. And
Yeah, and the really cool
heartbreaking.
quote at the beginning. I was hoping you guys could just talk a little bit more about that track overall.
I just felt like that track, obviously title track, sort of like what the whole album, the underlying theme of it that I felt going into writing it was put into that track. Like the whole essence of it and the universe and just feelings towards it and not towards it is in that. Living and dying, it's in that one.
Yeah. I should have paid a little bit more attention to the quotes that you have placed throughout the album,
Yeah.
but I almost felt like those were tied together.
A little bit.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
The album overall, like lyrically, like in a way, tells a bit of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a direct one, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you read it all and listen to it, you'll get it.
Okay. John, this question comes to you. So after Soulless Hymns came out, you replaced the old vocalist Storm. Were you nervous at all for what people's reaction to that was going to be?
Yes and no. I had already been touring with the band for a little bit. Kids were already hyped in general, and like I was nervous how I was gonna go in the studio because I knew we were gonna try something different. So it was just a little bit of both. Like I was trying to be confident about it, but I was definitely like, you know what I mean? It was a little stressful.
Yeah, I felt like Storm had a really distinctive style, but as soon as I heard you on the Violent Sound, I feel like you really filled those shoes pretty
Thank you.
perfectly. Were you kind of going for that, Wyatt, when you guys were searching for a new vocalist? Keep up the same sound?
Yeah, like I remember we did tryouts, but I mean previously he already filled in for the band on a tour, so I knew him, and like we did that just to see what was out there, but I was already leaning towards this direction because I knew the ability and wanting to tour, which is also like 75% of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're in the band, you have to do it.
Right. A lot
Especially
of
as
bands
the
break up
singer.
because
Yeah.
they don't have the durability for
Yeah,
touring.
think you fit perfect, so.
Yeah. And it was a bold decision, honestly, in my opinion, for the debut album with a new vocalist to change so much and, you know, do what the Violent Sound did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got a little out of hand.
Yeah, what? I mean, if you look back at the last 10 Seconds of Life discography overall, I think the Violent Sound almost stands out as, like, you know, the black horse of all the albums.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about, like, where you guys were headed with that album?
That record was going to be made no matter who the singer was. I feel like a lot of people think just because John joined the band is why that direction happened. But I mean, I've wrote 95% of the music and 90% of the lyrics and the patterns. So like, pretty much comes from here, and then everyone has a say, and there's changes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's just what I felt at the time, and I love that music. I love that record, and that's what came out.
Yeah, basically, we just kind of went in there with a bunch of ideas, and you know, Wyatt was like, here's what I have so far, and you know, kind of do your thing, and it kind of just snowballed from there. We tried a lot of stuff. There was you know, there was definitely a lot more that we added to it. It was like, oh, I have an idea to try this or do this, and he'd be like, if I hate it, we're gonna take it out. I'd be like, all right, word. That's kind of where like things like the beginning of Little Black Line came from, and like those pitched yelling parts, like.
Yeah, the clean singing was definitely the biggest change too.
Yeah. We went a little nuts once we did Little Black Line. Like we realized like, oh, we could do a lot with this, and we went from there.
So I'm gonna skip a question because this ties into what we're talking about. I'll come back to it, but Machina Non Grata, in my opinion, kind of goes back to the band's roots. A little bit of In Vivo Ex Vivo. I hear a little bit of soulless hymns in there.
There's a mix of everything in it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel like I took, you know, influence from every piece of music we've had. Instead of poured it in there, but like I just tried to amplify like the viciousness along with it and the songwriting.
Exactly, yeah.
Like I definitely feel like this record, the songwriting is on par with any other or better.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it definitely returns to the grittier style too.
Yeah.
we tried hard to write more collectively this time, so it was really awesome.
I hope it's not too early to ask. I know you just released this album like a week ago, but looking forward, is there anything that fans should expect? Will the sixth album be, you know, an exploration of something you've already done or something entirely new again?
We got a documentary coming out that we tease tomorrow. It's called 5 Inches from the Sun.
Oh,
So
all right.
that'll come out. It kind of documents like a tour that we did, you know, just a couple of sets, you know, us bullshitting with each other, making fun of each other, stuff in the studio, you know, just kind of goes into the whole thing, you know, around the past couple of years, and it's pretty sweet actually. It's about an hour.
Is there a reason that you picked lyrics from North of Corpus, which was off of Soulless Hymns, for the documentary?
So that's how it feels.
Huh.
It literally just like everything that we've been doing in the past year literally feels like we're cooking. That's where a lot of the aggression comes from this album. Like when I wrote lyrics for Dirt Nap, when we were writing patterns, when him and I were writing lyrics and patterns for Sweet Chin, it was just, we've had a lot happen in the past year or two. So like even inside the band, outside the band, and we're just fucking mad. You know what I mean? So it just felt like you were just cooking.
I mean, it comes through.
Yeah.
And I think that is what the last 10 Seconds of Life has always gone for, and it's a sound that really suits you.
For sure. I had a lot of fun writing on this album. It was, you know, good. It was good to get that hate out.
Do you have a story you want to share about, like, the writing process? Anything to give the fans, like, an inside peek or something funny that happened?
I cooked delicious ribs, pulled all the bones out. I remember that.
I know I didn't have this question written down, so I'm catching you off guard here.
I don't know.
I got yelled at for having my shirt off.
By who?
Everybody, like
The
8 people. Like,
the studio they were at was a very, very nice studio, and understandably, they just don't want, you know.
Yeah, so like we don't have AC.
Old dudes running around.
We didn't have AC in the van, so we went to go get groceries, and it was the summer, so it was September or something. I was fucking dying.
Yeah, it's hot.
So I took my shirt off in the van by the time we got back there. So I took all the groceries. I just started putting them in the elevator, and they're like this little lobby. There's no one sitting in the lobby, but it goes into like different directions. And like one dude at first came up in the lobby. He was like, "Hey, if you want to put on a shirt, the dude might like get mad." I was like, "Oh, okay," and I put on a shirt. right? So I put on a shirt. I finished loading everything into the elevator. We go upstairs. Now we're upstairs in like the apartment area, right? So I'm like, word. I take my shirt off. I start cooking eggs and shit. You know what I mean? Like just getting ready. And another person comes up like, yo, I heard you had your shirt off downstairs. Like you also have to put your shirt on up here. And I was like, okay. So I put my shirt on and now I'm cooking more. Another person comes over. Was like, hey, I heard you have your shirt off. Like you need to keep your shirt on. I was like, yeah, I know. Like I realized. And they did this like 5 times. And I was like, okay. And I went inside, I cooled off, I came back out, and then they were like, you actually have to take that shirt off because I had a cushion on it and said, I had a polyleaf on it, like, you can't wear that shirt. And I was just like, I'm going to go, and I'm just going to get a suit. And that's how I walk around. But it's like the governor, like, owns that building. And, like, you know, it's a lot more of a official building than I thought it was.
So, you know, kind of wrapping up, I already asked about the future direction of the music, but I'm going to probe a little bit more here. Soulless hymns, I think, for a lot of people tapped into something special.
For sure.
You know, I don't necessarily think it's the band's best album ever, but it really was, you know, something special for its time. Was that just sort of like a product of the times, or, you know, do you think you could recreate that sound? Do you have any desire to?
Yeah, the thing about that record is it's a little bit of a slower, groovier. You know, that's why I sort of like Machina so much, because it's like a little more upbeat, but it has the essence of it.
Yeah.
Like how we were talking about, like how I had riffs stored.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning riff of Savo was a riff that I was going to use on Soulless that I never did. And I was like, I always love that riff. I'll bring it back. That
Yeah, you definitely hear parts of Soulless hymns in the new record.
And other records, you know, and put that in there, but if I wanted to, but I don't want to, yeah, I think I could.
Yeah, I think that's the answer to the question. I
Yeah.
think we'll, you know, the fans of that one will have to live through the little parts that bleed through in the
maybe one
future
day.
albums. I mean, that's all I have, guys. I really,
Well,
you know,
awesome.
really
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
the
man.
time.
This was beautiful.
Appreciate
First
you.
Like,
snowy interview.
I think we all need to kiss or something. Like, this is great. Like,
It's definitely
later.
a lot different than the ones that I did in San Diego.
For
Like,
sure.
actually
oh,
snowing
I can't
on
wait to
us.
get back
Awesome,
home
man.
from
This is
palm
cool.
trees.
Yeah.
6 days.
Is there anything you guys want to say to the fans? I know you're on tour. Did it just start?
No, it's actually today's the last day.
Oh shit! All right. Well.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the exact opposite.
Last day.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I literally I was writing the review a couple days ago and was on your Facebook page and saw this date and I was like, oh my god, I gotta try to talk to these guys.
That's awesome.
Cool. Any
Listen
last
to the
words?
album. It's angry for you. You know what I mean? Like, we're pissed, so you can be pissed with us. Get it out. You know what I mean?
Wyatt, anything?
Turn it up, crank it. Sorry, I saw my buddy.
Oh.
Listen to the lyrical content. There's definitely an underlying theme and vibe to the whole thing, and I was talking to someone last night about in vivo, ex vivo. Actually, there was a guy who had his leg tattooed of our lyrics. And he was the singer of a band called No Mercy. They opened for Philly, but it was from in vivo. And I was telling about how that record was very personal, like lyric-wise for me, probably the most personal one. But
That's how this one
Machina
is for me.
feels like that with this. It's just a little bit of a different picture painted, but it's the same kind of vibe. I feel like if you really listen to it and turn it up and feel it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can. When you listen to this one, you can definitely tell that there's a lot of emotions in there, and when you read it and you go through it, it's a little bit of everybody. Finally, you know what I mean? We went through a lot of member changes, and it's
do wanna
nice
say one
and
more
nice to
thing.
put all those in there.
We're done with it. Here's the card. It will be done in 2 seconds. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, 1 second.
There is a little part that I put in there that's like an homage to every album, and I don't think anyone has commented on it yet, and it's
True.
in the lyrics.
Oh,
and I don't think
shoot.
anyone's caught it yet.
Now,
But you gotta listen close and listen to it all, and you'll see.
all right, I'm gonna have to go through and read it because now I can't post my review until I find it.
There you go.
Now I need to be the first one to find this. All right, guys. Well, thanks again. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Really excited to see you tonight.
For sure.
Everybody else, 5th album, The Last 10 Seconds of Life, Machina Non Grata. Make sure you check it out. And thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thank you.